All right. Well, good evening. We're really glad that you're able to come and join us tonight and learn just a little bit about how this whole sharing Young Living thing works. And my name's Jennifer Bruce. I am a silver leader with Young Living, and we've been doing Young Living. We've been using Young Living oils since October of 2013. And at that point, we got them so that we all could get some sleep. Our daughter was a horrible sleeper from the time she was born, actually until we got our Young Living oils. And we thought we had tried everything. And fortunately, I had some very persistent friends who insisted that these oils would be what we needed. And they actually were right. So I really appreciated their persistence and the fact that we were introduced to oils so we could all be get some sleep and not be cranky. And that was a good thing. So I actually knew I wanted to start on the business side of Young Living as soon as we got our oils. In fact, the thing that kind of pushed me over the edge to give these oils a try was my friend saying to me, well, if you have a class and some of your friends buy some starter kits too, you're going to get some money back to help you pay for your oils. So being the frugal person that I am, that was really appealing to me. So that's exactly what I did. And in fact, my husband, that was kind of the selling point for him as well. He said, well, as long as, you make enough to pay for them, then that's great. So that was kind of our motivation was we've got to pay for these things somehow. And I guess I didn't realize at the time the true potential that there is in earning with Young Living. I just thought we were going to make some money on the side, pay for some oils, everybody's happy. But it's just so much more than that. Young Living is actually set up as a network marketing company. If you're not familiar with that term, it simply means we're promoting products and services that we love. We already use them. We enjoy them. We would recommend them to a friend anyway. In fact, you probably do that. Probably recommend books, movies, recipes, maybe send a friend a recipe link, restaurants, stores, a certain clothing item. I don't know. We recommend all kinds of things, guys. And you know what? We don't get paid for those. But with Young Living, you're sharing a product that you already love, and they're actually paying you to do it. So it's win-win. We're doing something that comes naturally. And it's really all about relationships. You are sharing these things with your friend. I got our daughter to sleep using oils, okay? Why wouldn't I share that with my friend who's having issues getting their kiddo to sleep? Okay, I want her to sleep too, so I just share that with her. Now, Young Living is actually a really great choice as a business. Okay, so I'm going to turn the microphone over to Mark here, and he is going to talk to you a little bit about, why Young Living is a good choice for business.
One of the reasons that Young Living is a great choice for somebody wanting their own business is because the health and wellness field is exploding right now. I looked up online a couple of things to kind of give me a perspective on what's happening in that area. And according to the Global Wellness Institute, they did a study, and they found out that $3.4 trillion is being spent globally in the health and wellness market. And that is actually 3 times larger than the worldwide pharmaceutical industry. So that's a pretty amazing statistic. I also looked on a site on the women's marketing site, and it mentions that this dollar amount, they also mentioned the $3.4 trillion, and they said that this dollar amount is expected to increase by 17% over the next 5 years. And so that's a tremendous amount of increase that's expected in a short period of time. So the health and wellness industry is exploding. Young Living, of course, directly touches that with our products from the oils to supplements, to the personal care, household items. All of the products are geared towards supporting health and wellness in one way or another. Some examples: people are paying a lot more attention to their ingredients. Restaurants have picked up on this. Restaurants are listing the ingredients in their foods to try to show that their foods are healthier to attract consumers. We are watching our ingredient list not only for foods, but also for other products, household products, personal care products, makeup, which is not one that I really pay too much attention to, but I hear a lot of you women talking about that you are, so I will mention that one. Because Young Living is addressing this basic goal, health and wellness, they are addressing what is a fundamental human need. That is one of the factors that make a Young Living business so practical for us. This is not a company that is marketing a luxury item. Now, there's nothing wrong with luxury items, but things like the latest purse or tote bag, again, I don't have any of those, or a company that markets maybe jewelry or maybe clothing line, something like that. Those may be great products, and they may be excellent companies for in their multi-level marketing structure, but they're not addressing what is a core human need. Young Living is. Another element of that is that our Young Living products are consumable products. That means we use them, we consume them, and then we reorder. Again, with the other products that I mentioned that other marketing companies may be promoting, those products have a cutoff point. People only are going to be interested in so much of an item. I forgot to drag out a piece of Tupperware here. I have some Tupperware that my mom bought 40 years ago, and good company, great product. She probably did not buy any additional Tupperware in the last 20 years of her life. She had enough, and so that's just an example of how some products, there's sort of a cutoff point where people are going to be continuing to invest in them. With the Young Living products, though, people are going to be reordering, continuing to use them, and that is a real asset to us as business builders as we continue to be able to build and sustain an income that way. And one of the final things that I'll mention about Young Living as being a good company to plug into for building a business is the fact that they're really established in the network marketing world and in the essential oils world as well. They've been in business for over 20 years, and that is a great track record for a network marketing company. In order to be able to not only endure, but to grow and thrive during that period of time, Young Living has to not only have a really great product, but also has to have a good business plan, has to do a good job of supporting those of us who represent them. And so that is another factor that makes investing ourselves, our time, energy, effort into a Young Living business can give us a lot of confidence with that, knowing that we are not only representing a quality product, a product that there is a very real need and market for, but also a product that is supported by a really great company.
Thank you. So one of the other things I personally like about having a Young Living business is that it can be simple and fun, and it can be an opportunity for us to use our natural giftings. For example, even in the way we teach classes or kind of reach out to people to share oils with them, we can share one-on-one with people where we just sit down. Maybe I've taken my starter kit to Panera with me and had lunch with a friend and just shared the oils with her. We had planned that ahead of time. I didn't, surprise her with my starter kit of oils, but we had chosen to meet one-on-one so I could share oils with her. And some people like to teach classes where you gather a group of people together into either your home or a conference room or the library, wherever you might be able to get a group of people together and have an actual class in a class setting. Other people prefer to share on social media. or have a table at a craft show. There's just so many different ways that you can share. You can get really creative with it. So what we would encourage you to do, even from the get-go, is to sit down and figure out what you like to do, what you're really good at, and then figure out how to incorporate that into sharing Young Living with your friends. Now, if you're not sure how your talents maybe translate into sharing oils with people, that's okay. You've got some support with the whoever enrolled you, or maybe if that person's not actively doing anything with the business side, maybe the person who enrolled them. But just talk to one of us, figure out who your support person might be, and then brainstorm with that person how your particular gifts can work, right on into sharing with people. And Mandy, if you'll pop in here and share a little bit about that, that would be wonderful.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I got started with Young Living in August of 2014. So when that happened, kind of like Jennifer, I knew that I wanted right off the bat to try the business aspect of Young Living, take advantage of that business opportunity because we are a family of 6 on a teacher's salary, a public school teacher salary. So thought, why not? I'll give it a shot. But honestly, I was not familiar at all with how network marketing works. And so what I did when I started out was just to kind of study how it was traditionally done, the most popular ways of sharing a product. And what I ended up doing was trying to do a lot of in-home gatherings or classes. And my goal was kind of to try and get as many of those going with as many people as I could, because that just logically made sense to me that I would be able to share with a lot of people at one time. And that actually helped me create kind of a foundation to build my business. But as time went on, I started noticing that I was getting kind of stressed and I was getting kind of burnt out. And I was just getting stuck. And I wasn't sure what was going on and why I wasn't able to kind of see what I was hoping to see with my business. And so I started doing what Jennifer was talking about and spending some time kind of reflecting on what my strengths were. What am I good at? What do I enjoy doing? How do I feel like I'm reaching people the most and creating relationships that are quality, so people don't feel like I'm just trying to sell them something, because I never want people to feel that way. And so I started thinking, well, I love to write. I went to school for writing. I love writing. I've been blogging for several years, and that brings me joy. It puts me in contact with people. I've met lots of people online the past several years through blogging communities. Um, I like social media. Some people don't like social media. Some people are intimidated by it, and that's fine because they have other strengths, but I love social media. It just kind of makes sense to me. And I like trying to figure out how it all works and what doesn't work on it. And I don't have any problem hopping on Google and trying to look up how to figure out those things. And doing that kind of research. I even have a handful of people that I manage social media for. And I finally thought, why am I not doing this for my own business? It was kind of silly that I wasn't programming posts. I like to go in and schedule posts and find an eye-catching image and kind of share something from my heart about how oils worked for me, or create relationships that way, even if that's one-on-one, online, or through my blog, or whatever that outlet might be. So I started transitioning. I don't give up entirely one-on-one or in-person contact. I will certainly do that, but I feel like my greatest strength right now, as I see it, is to use those platforms of Facebook and my blog and Instagram and Pinterest are the things that I'm comfortable with, that I know, and that I feel like I can express myself effectively. So it's just worked a whole lot better and put me more in the zone where I feel like I'm in my sweet spot, that I can serve people better by doing things in a way that's authentic to me, so that I can, in essence, just serve them better. So I would just encourage everyone to, like Jennifer said, think about that at the beginning. Just because something has always been done a certain way doesn't mean you have to do it that way, because if you have a certain gift or skill, or way of reaching people. It's just all about being able to take the information you have, connecting with people, listening to what their needs are, and being able to get that information to them. So however you can effectively do that is what's going to work well for you.
Absolutely. And keep in mind too that no matter how you decide to share, every single one of us has one really powerful resource available to us, right? And that is our upline. And Holly's going to talk about some ways that you can use, you kind of harness the power of that resource and use it to help you grow your business. So Holly, will turn the mic over to you.
Okay. Did I do it? Well, at first, I started attending as many classes as I could that Jennifer was teaching. And so that way I was able to just learn a lot and then get comfortable with being in the classes and teaching the classes. And then as time went on, then I began inviting people, my friends and family, to the classes that Jennifer was teaching. And so it is true that it's an excellent resource to use your upline. And then we just started, Jennifer would include me in the class and allow me the opportunity to share maybe some of my stories and experiences with the oils. And then that slowly introduced me to talking more and being part of the class. And then by doing that, that just equipped me to be able to feel comfortable and feel confident to go and teach the classes on my own. And then when I had I had another friend who wanted to start teaching classes, and so I just did the same things that Jennifer did for me, and we co-taught some of our classes, which was fun. And then even though the particular friend that I'm talking about now was really nervous to teach, she just kept working with me, and then little by little she went on her own, and now she's teaching classes all the time and loves it and does a really great job with it. And then I have other people who just jump right in there and they want to do it all on their own, and so that's just another example of how you can kind of do it the way that you feel most comfortable with. But definitely using your upline is a great resource. Thanks.
Absolutely. It seemed to work really well together, and put our gifts together and make a pretty powerful team. And I will say, especially in our organization, we've got people who are just willing to share their gifts with our group. So I'm really thankful for that with this group of people that we have. I think we're very blessed there. Now, one thing to keep in mind as you get started, no matter how you get started, is that you don't have to be an expert. Now, that's really hard for some of us who have that personality where we feel like, I really need to know a lot before I can go out and tell people about oils, because what if they ask me a question and I don't know the answer? Okay, that if you're kind of like me, that might freak you out just a little bit in the beginning. But I wasn't an expert when I started. Okay, guys, I had my first class about a week after my starter kit came. I was pretty much clueless. Okay, I didn't know what I was doing, except I knew which oils to try from my kit to help Emma sleep. Okay? That was the extent of my knowledge at that point in time, because somebody had said, well, try these. So I did what Holly just told us about, actually. My friend lived in Texas. She still lives in Texas. I'm in Ohio, so she obviously wasn't going to come to my house and teach a class for me, but she kind of did. Okay, we used Skype at that time, and I brought her into my living room by sitting my laptop on the piano bench in my living room, and I had some friends over, and so I had my starter kit in my hands, and she would say, okay, now pass them the lemon oil, and I would just hand them the lemon oil, and now pass them the frankincense, and off we went while she told them all about the oils, and she shared her stories. I didn't have any stories yet. Emma was starting to sleep a little better, but that's all I had. So she was able to share her experience and her stories, and All I did was make some brownies and with some peppermint and pass oils around. Okay. And it was awesome. Okay. In fact, we have one of those people in this class, this session with us tonight, helping to teach this. So it obviously worked pretty well. Really, I guess in the beginning, your job is simply to get people started. Okay. You don't have to worry about telling them everything. You can share any stories that you might have already. You can let your upline share stories, but just get them started. Get the starter kit into their hands so that they can have their own experiences. Teach them how to research. Maybe give them a couple of websites that we can share with you. We might share some kind of booklet with them that has either some recipes or information in it. Plug them into our resources. We have some fantastic resources available to us. And I've asked Mandy if she would chat with us a little bit about some of those resources that we have at our disposal to help us with our businesses.
Okay, we do. We have so many great resources. So however you decide to build your business or get your oils covered, that suits you, but you're not alone. And that's great news. So one really big resource that we like to use are Facebook groups. And those are both education groups to learn more about products and promotions and things, and also business building groups. So you probably have heard Oily Families if you're in this webinar, and that is the group that was started by Alyssa Francis, who is the upline to all of us. So wherever we are in Young Living, we are all on Alyssa's team, and her team is called Oily Families. And she has a business group that has thousands and thousands of builders in it. So there's so much great information. There's videos and links and resources there. And then there's also the ability to ask questions and search archives. If you have a question about the business, it's probably been covered in that Facebook group, so you can search that. We have these webinars like we're doing that right now. We have lots of online platforms that we use, whether it's a webinar or a Facebook class that we can collaborate on so that one person doesn't feel like they are doing all the work all of the time, and then we can all work together to help each other build our businesses. And then, of course, there's the in-person events. So whether that is those of you who live in the same area can help put on events together and share, or even there's a lot of, we call them cross-line friends, other business builders in Young Living who may be in your area. Even if you're not on the same team, there are lots of events that are open to anyone so that you can come and learn. You can bring people that you know who are interested in oils to come and learn as well. So actually, I just attended one of these cross-line events, we call it, that was in my area this past weekend. So it wasn't someone on my team, but it was a really, really wonderful leader in my area, and she actually had hundreds of people there, and she brought in these exceptional leaders from Young Living to speak, and we learned so much. She had one day that was all learning about business and personal development, and one day that was all learning more about health issues and products and things like that. And one thing I wanted to mention after being at that event, I just kind of sat back and observed the leadership. So I observed the personalities of the different people who were presenting and teaching us. And these were all people who were either higher up in their businesses who had achieved ranks where they have very large teams. And there were also two leaders from corporate Young Living. And one thing I noticed about them was the way that not only were they really good at what they do, very knowledgeable and able to communicate that, so we learned a lot, but also the way that they interacted with each other really made me stop in my tracks and think, because I have had a lot of crazy jobs in my life. I have been a camp counselor, I have been in retail, I have been a teacher, I have worked in a doctor's office as a filing clerk, and all of these other odd jobs. And I will tell you, none of them have an atmosphere like I witnessed in Young Living. And it was really, I think, indicative of how Young Living functions as a whole. And it seems kind of funny to use this word, but they're some of the healthiest people I know all around, not just having a strong immune system or something like that, but the way that leadership and Young Living relate to each other is so healthy. And now I have got some kind of crazy family relationship. So at this point in my life, I would like to surround myself with people who function on a healthy level. And what I've noticed in Young Living is leaders who are kind and generous and really supportive. In fact, our whole compensation plan is set up so that the leaders focus on helping you to meet your goals. So nowhere in this do I ever get the feeling that Young Living is just out to make a buck, or they want us to just make as much money for them as they can. Their mission and their focus is on taking care of their people, whether that's people buying Young Living products or those of us who work with them. They want us to be healthy in mind, body, and spirit all around. And if you could pick an environment to work in, wouldn't you want it to feel like family? And wouldn't you want it to be someone who is going to cheer you on? If you do well, they're going to celebrate with you. If you don't do well, they're going to say, okay, what can we learn from this? You know? And I just think that that is pretty awesome, that there's so much teamwork and so much support. And it's a place I want to be. I want to be with these people. And you really do make community, you make friends, and it kind of goes beyond business, where you can actually call someone up who doesn't live in your state and tell them the latest crazy thing that's going on in your life, and they're not going to think you're crazy. They might say, pull out your valor and okay, take a deep breath and let's see what we can do about this. So I would just say it's a great environment to work in.
It really is. I think Alyssa named our overarching team perfectly when she called it Oily Families, because that's definitely the feel that she was going for. And I think she's really accomplished that with our group. So I absolutely love that. Now, Mandy alluded to the compensation plan a little bit, and I just wanted to give a brief overview. And I mean, if this is the compensation plan, guys, I'm going to give you like this much of it. Okay, teeny tiny bit. In fact, the comp plan is probably a whole class all in itself. But basically, when you share Young Living with a friend and they decide to get started with a premium starter kit, which we feel honestly, number one, it's the best value for your dollar. And number two, it's the best place to start because it gives you a wide array of oils to start experimenting with. That is, for us, the way to go. I know that's not necessarily for everyone, but that's what we encourage. So when someone does that, you get $50 from Young Living. Okay, that's not product credit. Okay, it's not a little credit on your account. It's actually a check you either get in the mail or direct deposit if you choose to sign up for that. Okay, it's money in your pocket. So in addition to that, okay, that's like a one-time thing. Okay, but in addition to that, you're going to make a percentage of your members' future orders from that point forward. Okay, that percentage varies, and we'll go into more depth on the compensation plan in a future webinar, just so we don't overwhelm you tonight, because what we're sharing tonight is awesome, but the full compensation plan is even better. There's so many different ways that you can earn with Young Living. Now, I will say this, whenever we talk about money with Young Living, we do need to give you the link where you can go and look at the income disclosure, and they just released a new one last week. And what you want to do is go to youngliving.com/IDS, like income disclosure statement, so IDS. So make sure you check that out to get a really good idea of what the possibilities are, especially if you're coming into this like I did and you didn't really realize how big it could be. Okay. So one of the most common hurdles that people seem to encounter when they're considering or starting with a Young Living business is having a limited amount of time. I think that is kind of the reality for a lot of us. So I've asked Erin to talk with you a little bit about this because I think this is her forte. So she's going to share a little bit about some things that you can do if time is an issue for you.
Okay. Well, time is definitely an issue for me, and the amount of time I have varies. I used to feel like I had a little more than what I do now, but I will have more again in the future. And the great thing about a Young Living business is that I can squeeze it into whatever little bits and pieces of time I have throughout the day. I don't have to have a huge chunk of time. I don't have to have an hour, 2, 5, 8, whatever. I work full time. We have 2 kids. We have our farm. One of our children has some special needs, and so we're really busy all day long. But I can take a little bit of time before my workday starts in the morning, and I can reach out to my early bird members, and I can help encourage them. And I have some people who are up at 5 and 6 in the morning, so that's perfect. I can catch them at 6:30, and shoot off a couple of texts or a couple of Facebook messages, whatever they need. That way, I can reach out to other people on my lunch break. I can reach other people if I have a short break during the middle of the day. I can, after supper, I can hit a couple more people while the kids finish up their homework. And once they're in bed at night, then I have a block of time where I can do things for my night owls, or I can spend the time doing things where maybe it's too late to call people, but I can get my my office organized, or I can do some other things that I can, write out some notes. I can plan what my next outreach is going to be, or work on my next script, or organize my calendar, all those things that you have to do, but I don't waste the waking hours doing it. So that works out really well for me. And I can, follow up with people who have expressed an interest. I can find out what's the best way to reach them. What do they prefer? And I can fit that into my day. So I don't have to have an 8-hour block of time to build my business. I can work it how it works for me. And when I have more time, great. I have more time, I can do the outreach. I can, when the kids are in their activities, I take my my cell phone with me to the kids' taekwondo, and I'm, doing my some of my texting and messaging and everything during those times. So it really works however you want it to work with your life and what time you have to give it. And I really like that. So that's the great thing for me.
Yeah, that flexibility is absolutely priceless, I think, for all of us. So we wanted to take a minute here and just kind of let everybody share just a little bit with you. I asked them to think about one question for you, and that is, what have you enjoyed the most about having your Young Living business? So in 30 seconds or less, if you can share that answer with us. I know that's hard when you talk about Young Living and you're really excited about it. It's really hard to stick to, okay, so we'll go for 30 seconds, as close as we can. So just share with us about your favorite thing. So Holly, we'll start with you. I'm going to unmute you here. Okay.
Okay, it is hard to just think of one favorite thing because there are so many things. In fact, what Mandy was talking about was one of the things that I thought about, just all of the support and just how when we help one person, then we're helping ourselves and we're helping everyone. Everyone benefits. And so I like that, but Mandy did a great job of talking about that. So I'm just going to say one other quick thing that I really like about this business, and that is being able to be home with our daughters. And they get to come to all of our classes and events with me. So that's a favorite thing.
And you're training up the next generation to jump on and teach their Young Living classes. All right, Mark, we're going to turn it over to you. What's your favorite thing about Young Living business?
Some oils and products that have been a help to me in dealing with some of my own wellness goals. The thing that just now came to my mind is having being a part of a Young Living business is helping me to discover strengths and maybe some gifts and some things that I enjoy doing that I hadn't really explored yet. I've discovered that I like helping to teach classes and doing some of our special events, and I have enjoyed helping to do some writing and things like that. So this has been a good opportunity for me to explore areas of my own abilities that I would not have, might not have had otherwise.
And we appreciate the fact that you've done that too, because we've all benefited from that as well. All right, Erin, how about you?
Well, besides the flexibility, I would say my favorite thing is the community, in the sense that not only do I not have to reinvent the wheel, but everyone that I've met wants to share. There's no territorial, I wrote the script so you can't have it or whatever. Everyone is there to share and help everyone come along at wherever you are and at whatever pace you're ready to go. And like Mandy said, that is pretty rare in today's world, both just interpersonally, but also certainly in the business world. I find that to be extremely rare. And that is a really refreshing thing to be able to work with all the people and build those relationships personally, and just know that we're all coming around each other together to make us all as good as we can be.
I've never seen anything like it. Nope. Okay, Mandy, let's come on over to you.
Okay, well, I would say one of my favorite things about Young Living is that it's really opened my eyes to realizing that just about anything that I want to be different in my life can be different. So it's really given me a lot of hope to see that I can really work towards freedom in a lot of areas, whether that's health freedom or financial freedom, relationship freedom, and even my own personal growth, shifting my mindset to what I'm used to, kind of living my life a certain way, and a certain, like, living my life in a box, to going after the life that I want for me and my family.
That's funny because that plays right into mine when I was thinking about what mine was. And my favorite thing about this business is not only finding that freedom for my own family, but watching other people, like watching it start to happen for other people, and feeling like, well, we all had a part in that. This is awesome because, this person has this goal, and maybe they didn't even realize they could have that goal before we started doing Young Living together. So I absolutely love seeing people find freedom in their health, some issues that maybe they didn't think could be dealt with any other way. And also seeing people find freedom in using their gifts and earning an income they didn't think was possible. So that's been huge for me. That freedom is one of my favorite words when it comes to all of our Young Living businesses. So hopefully you've gotten the idea, as we've talked tonight, that there's really no magic time or way to start this business. You can start it as soon as you get your oils. You can jump right into teaching classes of 50 people if you want to. Okay. You can use your oils for a while. I've had people who use their oils for like 2 years and then decided, well, I could share these with people. And they decided then they were going to share. And it doesn't matter either way. In fact, if you've been using your oils for a while, you're actually going to be a step ahead of where I was when I started. You actually will have some stories that you can already share when you start sharing with people. You're not clueless like I was, okay? So we've talked about all these different ways that you can share. If you're kind of thinking, okay, my wheels are turning here, I want to really hash this out and figure out what my next step should be, just talk to your support person and choose a way for you to start and give it a try. And then maybe choose another way and see if that fits you even better. And just keep trying things, keep using your gifts and your talents. And you're going to figure out, you're going to find that kind of Cinderella shoe that your foot slides right into, and it's going to be your sweet spot. And you're just going to enjoy sharing with people, and you're going to reap the benefits of that. So if you have any questions at all, feel free to contact whoever invited you to watch this webinar, and they will get you started. They'll get you plugged into the resources that we have, and we will be absolutely thrilled to have you join us on this journey. Thanks so much for watching.